Alright everyone, so we are back with another exciting video, and before we begin I would like to mention a couple of changes that I've made, and you can see them if you open your project. So the thing is, you can see the menu items are a little bit more spaced out, I guess, in a better way, because previously one was here in the north, the other was in the south. So let's take a look. So what I did is remove that LIs and unordered list, and then remove that class. I think there was a nav class, so I removed that, and then just left these anchor tags. So that's one. So that's just a very minimal change here. And then in the CSS, so this is same, this didn't change, hasn't changed, and let's see, this one has not changed. One thing I did is just added a little bit of margin on the top. So I think before was 25 or something. I just moved this button a little bit down to have them aligned properly. And also for the anchor tags, these ones, we had this already. So I added the display blocks. So what this means is they will appear on separate line like block elements, and then give it some padding and increase the font size. And then the hover is same, and the menu brand, and this is pretty much same, so that has not changed. So I thought I'll just mention this so you guys know, because I think it looks much better to before. Okay, so next I'm going to add a component for home page and for contact us. So to create these components, I will do ng generate component, and the name of the component will be home, and I want to add it into the root module, and I want to skip tests. So let's see there. So as you can see on the left side, it created that for us, and then using the same method I'll add the contact us. So for any other pages that you might have on your website, you can add those like this. So each page is pretty much like a component, and that would be nice. If I go to home component, you can see the home component, and if you go to contact us, you can see the contact us. Now, so we have our components, and what I would like to do is go to the app component, and since this code belongs to the home page, we will move this to our home component. So what you do is, we're going to take pretty much everything, we're going to exit. Now it's gone, but don't need to worry. So we're gonna come here and paste it. That's one. Now what we need to do is also, there's the styles that goes with it. So we are going to go to style.css and take pretty much everything that should go in that file. So I'll leave that one, the fonts, but what I will do is go here and paste it, and of course it's going to complain, and we'll take the media queries also, and we will paste it here. Now as you can see, Angular is complaining because since we moved it into its own component, now the path obviously changed, so we will have to fix that. So not a big deal. So all you have to do, so before we were in the root folder, that's why we just saying go to assets and grab them, but now we just have to go back up 2 levels. So we're gonna say go out into the main folder, and then that's where assets is. So that's that. So now it's going to complain about line number 46, which is here, so we can fix that. Then line number 58, that, And last but not least, hey, look at that. There. And it should be fixed. Oh, I missed this one. There. So that takes care of that. Now you must be saying, well, how come we don't see the home page? And that's where routing is going to come handy and dandy. So I will close this for now, and we don't need this one. So now let's talk about routing. I mean, any website would be incomplete without navigation, right? And in Angular, the router enables routing from one view to another. The idea is that we configure routes to corresponding components, and then Angular will do the heavy lifting for us. And you can configure routing in your root module, which is this one, the root module here, this one. So that's one way of doing it. Or you can put it inside a separate module and then import it inside the app module. For small apps, I mean, you can just go with the first method where you define your routing right here. But I have the habit of separating my routing in its own module, and there are a couple of reasons. It keeps the code clean and isolated. It helps in future expansion, and also it's good for testing for a big project. So now let's create a module, and it's pretty much the same kind of idea how we generated that component. So you're just going to do ng generate, and what are we going to do? Module, and let's call it app routing because that makes more sense. And we want to make sure it is defined in the root module, and I'm going to add a new flag. It's called flat. Flat means that don't create a folder like how we have done here for these components. So it's just going to go in the root folder. So let's hit enter. Did I hit enter? I think I did. There. So as you can see, the app routing module appears from Oblivion. So this is where we're gonna specify our routing and stuff like that. So how do we do that? Well, first things first, we need to bring in a couple of import a couple of things, and I guess two important ones will be, you know what, we don't need this one, we're gonna get rid of this. And yeah, Angular is complaining, but that's fine. So we're gonna say import routes, and I can't believe it, it's just like auto-filling. So we're gonna say routes and then router module. Oh, that's why. Today is bad spelling day. Did you guys know that? That's why I'm making these mistakes. And we're gonna say from router. So there you go. That so we imported that. And the way you're gonna configure these routes is you basically come here and you're gonna define your exports, so these can be used by others. And the imports, of course, we want to import the router module. So I'll just put this on one line. I talked about the exports and imports when we were talking about modules and components, so you can refer to that video. And now in the exports, we're gonna have the router module, and what we're gonna, in the imports, we're gonna say router module dot for root. And we are, so here you can define your routes. Now where are my routes? Well, this will be an array of routes like this. The type is route, right? and it's basically an array of routes. Now how do you define it? So basically it takes an object, and the path is what basically what appears here in the browser. So that's the path. And then where should it go? Well, it should go and do load home component. That's what, so what you're saying is that when you encounter home path, go load this component. And we're going to do the same. We can say path contact us, component is contact us. See if it's going to, yeah, there you go. So that's that. And then we should also specify, in case there's any error or empty, like default one, so we will just say do home component. So that's like our default, and in case any issues, then you need some tissues. So basically anything that we don't know, we can define our page not found. We can create one, but you know what, I'll leave this for now. We're gonna come back to this later. Alright, so you have defined your components like these, and if we go to the app module, it's right here, app routing module. So that does exist, so we know that routing is there. So if I click on contact us or home, nothing is happening, and that's because we need to go to the menu component, and we need to actually see, currently the href is going to this hash thing. We need to fix this, and the way you fix this is you use a router link directive, and we are going to say that for home we are going to go to home, and this name is the same name that we specified in our routing, so this name. And then we're just going to copy the contact us, and we're going to say router link is that. Save it, and there you go. So now if I click on them, so home is good and contact us, we need to do this. So home is good and contact us is not triggering. Let's see if we get any error. No, we're not getting any errors. Okay, so why would contact us not do anything for us? So we have a contact us component, and if I come here, I have contact us, and then that's the view. Contact us works. So I noticed that it's so maybe we can just do a force refresh. Alright, still not taking it. And why is that? Router link. Oh, you can see spelling mistakes. I told you today was a bad spelling test. There. And now see, if when I click contact us or home, it's still not doing anything. But if you look at the top, the routing changes actually. The URL changes. So if I hit contact us, goes to contact us. If I go home, goes to home. Now you must be thinking, well, how come it's still not showing the page? And we need to fix that actually. And what we can do is basically you need to add another directive. So remember, as I said, that the root component is basically, this is where we'll fly in and out, and that's what we need to do. We need to make sure that our views are displaying here. So the directive that you want to add is router outlet, right? And if I save it, boom, you see our home page appeared, because in our app routing module we said that, you know, if there's nothing, basically, then default is home. If I go to contact us, then that's the contact us. You don't see it currently because the menu is kind of over that content. We'll fix that. If I remove that, then that's the home page actually, because it doesn't match anything, so it just defaults to home component. So I mean, what we could do is go to the contact us and maybe refine it a bit, the HTML, so so that we can maybe, you know, see something a little bit, and that way you guys can trust me. So if I go to the contact us, and currently we just have very plain HTML there. So if I go to contact us, there's your contact us. Currently it's just sitting too close to the top. So what I can do is just give it some padding on the top and maybe some margin on the bottom, and we're just gonna give it some background there color. So give it a little bit of background color, and so that'll do for now. So I can go to home, I can go to contact us, and that's your routing basically. So let's recap. I know it's too much, but just watch it again and again. So if you wanna do routing, as I said, you can do routing in your root module, or you can do it in a separate module like what we did. So we created a separate module, and then you define your array of routes, then you specify the path, which is this guy, and then you specify the component that should load when that path is hit. Then in your metadata, you specify the routes array, and then you also have to export the router module so it can be used by other modules. And once you have done that, then you can break your components or different pages already into different components, and wherever your menu is where you will be loading it from, you can then go to define a directive called router link, and that's where you specify the name of the path actually of the component or page. And then finally in your app component, we specify this other directive, router outlet. That's where the Angular router is gonna render your pages. So I hope that was helpful, and I'll see you guys next.